Steve, the television aspect of this, and Kevin, something came to mind when Steve mentioned the networks and Ohio State's power on television. If you look at the television ratings, first and foremost, Ohio State rates as well as anyone, if not better than anyone in the country, regardless, even if they're not considered the best team. The TV ratings are phenomenal. They own, again, the SEC and the Big Ten own the top 10 games in the nation every year, and Ohio State's the team in the Big Ten. In addition to that I find fascinating is that if you look at the markets, the individual TV markets that watch college football, they're all in the Deep South. If you look at the top 10, they're generally in the Deep South. There might be a sprinkling of a Dayton or a Cleveland, except for Columbus, Ohio. And Columbus, Ohio, excuse me, is either 1 or 2 or 3. And then so in regards to watching its game of interest, so the markets in Alabama, obviously watching Alabama and Auburn and so forth and so on. But in addition, that second layer of just being college football fanatics, as Steve says, Ohio State being the religion, but being fanatics of the sport. If you look at teams and games that aren't affiliated with those markets, there's still college football support in the South of them watching not just their games, but watching other teams play, and Columbus, Ohio. It's fascinating.
Yeah, you'll see big numbers for Oklahoma K-State in Columbus.
Yeah.
If that ends up being the main game and
they're certainly watching. Yeah, they're certainly watching Michigan and Penn State.
There was an instance this past year, and I'm going to get this dead wrong. It was like a Michigan-Penn State game, and the rating was better in Columbus than it was in Detroit. And that's just, again, I'm not going to get that right. I'm sure something's wrong in there, but maybe it wasn't Penn State. I don't know. And in fact, it may have been better than Philadelphia. I mean, it's crazy that the people in Columbus, in Central Ohio, and Dayton is also scores very well per capita on this thing. Cincinnati to a degree, although it's a fractured market, and Cleveland is more of a pro city, but for the big games, their viewers turn out in droves as well. And so, yeah, it's just a football crazy state. But there was a game this past year involving Michigan. I want to say it was Michigan and Penn State, where the Columbus rating was as good or better than Detroit and maybe Philadelphia as well, which just kind of just tells you how sick these people are in a good way.